All right, this is the second part. I just want to make sure that I'll be able to upload it. You know, so in fact, you know, it says basically because his gods were idols and in the physical nature, they can always be taken away. And it says, you know, basically, in fact, that his gods could be carried off by a passing band of brigands. I don't know what that means. And the priest he had appointed for money could be lured away by a higher salary. So basically, you know, folks, you know, a lot of these ministers are hired servants. All right, they're there for the money. And you know what? If another church calls for more money or another opportunity or whatever, guess what? They're gonna leave the people and go do that. You're gonna be and a lot of times people left spiritually hurt because they've made the minister or the pastor an idol in their heart. If you put make anything an idol in your heart, you're going to be left with nothing. We need to put our treasure into heavenly things, not physical things that can rot away or be stolen or destroyed, but into things that are eternal that will last forever. That's what we need to put our hearts into. And the Bible is clear that we have no other idols, you know, no other gods before Yahweh, the Most High. All right, no other idols. He is the Most High. It is Yah who is the object of our worship, not any minister. All right, not anything. And the crazy part is that the reason why God's calling pastors out of the church is not just for the people, but for the pastors too. Because if they're allowed to stay in this position and the objects and become objects of idolization, they themselves can fall under a curse. That's why you see so many of these major pastors having so many types of problems and adulteries and all this stuff that becomes public, and all this is because that's God's way of pulling them down and trying to save them from the judgment that will happen because they've elevated themselves over people. See, nobody is your spiritual covering, your spiritual guide. That idea is out the window. The veil was cracked. We now have complete access individually to Yahweh through Christ. We don't need any other person. God was clear about that. He said, you have no teacher, call no one your master, call no one your father. All right. And you know that, you know, a lot of people church, they don't like that because people like the idea of authority. All right. People like the idea of having someone in physical authority. But the reality is that the only one authority is God. Only time, you know, there's people that can teach us. There's people we can learn from, elders, people who walk with God and for years and years and all, but they're not our authority. Only Christ is our authority. We can learn, but there's this idea of see, the disciples were like, Jesus, who's going to be the leader? Who's going to be the greatest? And he said, the person who is the servant will be the greatest. So Jesus right there really destroyed this whole idea of hierarchy within the church system. And again, you know, we can go into church history and all that, but let's, you know, a lot of that was written by men. Let's go on with Jesus, what the Most High said. We can say, well, you know, they started off and he was the first bishop or the first this and all that other stuff, man. Man, when these same people that they try to say was the bishop or the leader of this church did all this, when them very same people in front of Jesus and they was asking Jesus about who's going to be the greatest, he shut it all down. So you got to be willing to renew your mind and let go of all those ideas that's in your head about authority or hierarchy or whatever was learned in Bible school, whatever was learned in your tradition at your church, any of that. You got to be going to what God says. And you got to be willing to admit in your heart that part of you likes the idea of that authority and be able to accept it for not be able to say, you know what, that's one thing that I need to really get before God in my heart about. And it's hard because it's people that have been pastors over us and done great things and we want to honor them. And I completely get all that. Completely get it. But I believe the text is very clear, you know, on that. And he said, you know, basically Micah said, he took the gods that I had made in the priests and went away. What do I have left? How can you say to me, what's the matter? And they said to him, don't raise your voice against us, or Amory will attack you, and you and your family will lose your lives. The Danites went on their way, and Micah turned back home because he saw they were stronger than he was. You know what I'm saying? You out here, what are you going to do? When the churches shut down, or the pastors leave, or you go into a church and the pastor that you idolize is telling you to do things that you know, to take the mark of the beast, or all these new world order initiatives and things. I mean, these pastors are already brainwashed. Accept homosexuality, accept this, that, and the third, and there's so much of that, and you know, I it's hard, man. The devil, you know, is the pride of life, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. I get the idea of people calling you pastor, a minister, or looking up to you, and all these things, looking at you as a leader, a spiritual example, all that. That's going to puff you up, because I've been there. And if you're real with yourself, it will puff you up. But God is calling ministers and pastors, those of us who have, and it's not about the titles, it's about the gifting, and it's the skills that God has given us, the calling. It's not about the title, it's the calling. God has given us a calling to pastor over people, to minister to people. It's time for folks to get away from organized religion and get out there and really do God's work. And that's the message I got for y'all, man. Hope y'all receiving the love. Don't be mad at me. I was just chilling this morning, and God said to do this. So, holla at him. Love y'all. Peace.